education remains inaccessible for millions of children around the world. More than 72 million children of primary education age are not in school, and 759 million adults are illiterate and do not have the awareness necessary to improve both their living conditions and those of their children. Along with that, many kids in developing countries do go to school but aren't provided with the proper tools to receive a good education.
And this is why the education in third world countries needs to be improved. Poverty and education are linked. Children living in poverty are unable to go to school because they have to work and help support their families at home. This results in leaving them without literacy and numeracy skills they need to further their careers. Education can boost a person's income by about 10% for each year of extra schooling, making it easier to help provide for their families. Education also helps to increase economic growth as a whole and raises the GDP by around 0.37%, thus benefiting the community. Education overall can help lift and reduce the state of poverty in many countries.
Literacy is key to good health in many ways. Women need to be able to read about prenatal vitamins and other health information during their pregnancy. This in turn reduces the rates of prenatal and maternal mortality and improves the child's health. The ability to read is also important in educating communities about clean water and sanitation, particularly if families need to use filters or boil water before drinking it to avoid waterborne illnesses. Along with that, kids whose mothers have been educated are more likely to be vaccinated and less likely to be stunted from malnourishment. In school, kids also learn about the effects of smoking, drugs, and alcohol, and how they can impact your life and your body. Going to school can overall help with your state of health and well-being.
Malala Yousafzai is a Pakistani activist for female education. She was born in Mangora, Pakistan on July 12, 1997, which unfortunately is actually the sixth most dangerous country for females in the world. However, her father Zine Yousafzai was committed to giving her every opportunity a boy would have. Zine was even a teacher and ran a girls' school in their village. In 2008, the Taliban took control of their town and began banning many things, including girls going to school. Malala was 11 years old at that time and had to part from her classmates, not knowing if it was forever or not. She began speaking out publicly on behalf of girls and their right to learn, which made her a target. In October 2012, on her way home from school, a masked gunman boarded her school bus and asked, "Who is Malala?" The girls looked at Malala, thereby innocently identifying her. He then shot her on the left side of her head. 10 days later, Malala woke up in a hospital in Birmingham, England, where she was informed of what had happened.
You have no anger towards the man who shot you. How is that possible?
I think they made a big mistake because I was fighting for the right of education right from the beginning when the Taliban stopped girls from going to school. But I had this little bit of fear that what would happen to me, how would I feel if someone attacks me. But after that incident when I was attacked, that fear just went away. And as I said in my speech at the United Nations, that my weakness, my fear, and my hopelessness died on that day. And I became stronger than before. And now I strongly believe that nothing can stop me in this mission, in this campaign of education to say that girls deserve the right to go to school. And it's the love of people as well that has encouraged me and helped me not to think about what I have went through in my life. So when I see people praying for me, taking care of me and sending cards and letters every day, it makes me stronger. It makes me strong every day, and I feel that whatever happened to me, I should now forget about it and continue my life with more courage and more work.
After months of surgeries and rehabilitation, she joined her family in their new home in the UK. Malala was still determined to continue her fight until every girl could go to school. She and her father established the Malala Fund, a charity dedicated to giving every girl an opportunity to achieve a future she chooses. In recognition of her work, she received the Nobel Peace Prize in December 2014, becoming the youngest ever Nobel laureate. Now Malala is studying philosophy, politics, and economics at the University of Oxford and still fights to ensure all girls receive 12 years of free, safe, and quality education.
Not only does education help to lower the chances of child marriage by nearly 5% for each year of secondary education, but maternal deaths can be decreased by about 2/3 if all mothers completed primary education. Education can also raise a woman's earnings by 10 to 20% per each year of additional schooling, which can help her to support her children and family. Women who attend school are also more likely to be educated on the topic of HIV and AIDS, which in the long run can be life-changing.
To get all the supplies, build all the schools, and get qualified teachers for the schools in many third world countries would cost tons of money. Furthermore, those millions to billions of dollars could go to use for something else through the US government, something that has to do with our country. This leads into intervening with other countries' problems. Why would we need to intervene? We already have the opportunity to get a basic education, which our government provides. Along with that, our government would have to be on good terms with that country's government. And finally, education is not a number one priority because kids have to help support their families by getting a job, which is more important than going to school. This isn't all kids obviously, but kids that do go to school in third world countries had bad teachers, are then poorly educated, or can barely afford the cost to go to school. It will definitely cost some money, but it'll be worth it. Education plays a crucial part in all of our lives. It's one of the most important investments a country can make in its people and its future. Girls and boys who learn to read, write, and count will provide a better future for their families and countries. With improved education, so many other areas are positively affected. In short, education has the power to make the world a better place. So who wouldn't want that? And if people are able to get a basic education, they'll get a better paying job, which makes sense. Then that would decrease poverty as well, so that's a plus. This means that they will also be able to support their family in a better way because they received an education. In the long run, this would increase global economic growth, benefiting everyone. So, how can we help? The biggest and best thing we can do is donate to fundraisers that support improving education in third world countries. A majority of those kids are living in poverty, so they'd be learning on an empty stomach, sadly. Donating to those charities will help feed them so they'll be provided lunch during school, ready to learn. It's important as well to spread awareness so people will do their part in helping. We can also write articles online to encourage teachers and students aspiring to become teachers to teach in developing countries. Even one well-educated teacher can have a huge impact on many kids' lives who are eager to learn.